Okay, so let's start. Hi guys, this is Chris from DoraHacks. Welcome to join another Polygon DevX Hackathon workshop. Today we are very happy to have Lauren from Consensys as DeveRel to join us as a speaker, and she gonna present the topic of Infura NFT API. She gonna give basically a very brief intro and some demo of the coding. So yeah, without further ado, let's welcome Lauren to start her workshop.
Thank you, Chris, so much for the intro. I am super excited to be here. Yep, as you said, I'll be going through some of the NFT API and SDK functionality and how to get set up with that. So let me get off this infinite Zoom screen, head over to the code. So before we dive right into this, there's a couple of things that we need to do to get set up. The first thing is head over to your Infura account and create your private and public keys. So I have already created a project for this, and I called it my NFT dashboard. If you scroll down, you can see the public API key, and then by clicking settings, security, you have your secret API key here. This we're going to plug directly into our environment variables. So as you see here, and don't steal my keys, they're all just for testing anyways, but I plug it into the API key variable here, the secret, and then these wallet public address and private key will come from your MetaMask account. So I also like to add this RPC URL. It's really helpful for when we're deploying on the test net, but we'll get to that later. Yep, so that's a good first setup. We'll also at some point need to get some Sepolia ETH or Girly ETH or Mumbai Matic, whatever you need to work with. But I've already done that in preparation, so we'll jump right in. Okay, so we'll start with this one. We have here the call that's getting all collections that one wallet owns. So we pull in this SDK in this first line, and we're importing SDK, our authentication, the templates, and then the metadata. We're not going to use all of these in this file, but we just have them just in case. You'll see this chunk of code over and over again because I'm using the same authorization structure for all of these demos, but just to go over it for the first time. So here we're bringing back in those keys from our environment variables that we saw earlier, and then we say chain ID 1. For these first ones, it only matters to say, this is the chain that I want to pull the blockchain data from. So if you're looking for Polygon specific data, you're going to want to use the chain associated with either the mainnet or the testnet. But for just testing, we'll go ahead and just do Ethereum mainnet. That's one. So then I'll instantiate my instance of the SDK, and I'll pull in this authentication as my first variable. And then we'll call the function get collection by a wallet with the promise that there is a wallet address provided, because we will need that to see the result. I am assigning it to the variable of result, and then we're just checking the wallet address will be plugged in, and we're going to print it to the console. So we see here, we just have this random wallet address here, and then we go ahead. So let's clear, so we start with a clean slate, and we have node. All right, so let's go all the way up. This wallet has quite a lot of collections, but you can see each specific address, its token ID, the to and from address, what type of contract it was built on, how much did it go for. Quite a lot of information there besides, just the core collection. So that is our first function. Next, we'll move on to getting all of the owners from a single contract address. So any random NFT collection you can think of, if we call this function, we're going to be able to display every single wallet address that has owned or currently owns this collection. So let's go ahead. The code here, like I was saying, looks about the same to get set up, but the difference is just the functionality that we're pulling in. So instead of looking for collections, we are now looking for owners, and we plug in this owner wallet, contract address of the collection instead of the owner wallet address. So let's try that out. Awesome. So here we have all of the owners from this collection. It'll show us their minter address, the token address. This is interesting. We can see the metadata of the original NFT. So we'll go through now, getting the lowest price. So this pulls a token and will give you the lowest trade price for any time on chain. Code looks about the same. See how that comes out. So it does give us quite a lot more information than we're looking for, but at the end here, you'll still see that price. Now, this one I find super fun. If you want to search all NFTs ever, you can come in here and just enter your query into this function. So I just set it up so that you add the function at the end and then provide it any string and it will search and give you the results of that. So let's see. I just did rainbow penguins to see what we'd come up with. And voila, it found some rainbow penguin collections. Yeah, so you can plug pretty much any keywords at all into that and it'll return something. But this next one is get transfer by block hash. So exactly as it sounds, and the code looks the same as the last few. Let's test that out. Oops. So we entered the block hash here. That's the primary variable that it's expecting. And for that hash, we've got quite a few transfers. You can see where it's coming from, where it's going, what that transfer looked like, what block number it was, and the exact type of transaction. So that can come in super handy. Now I've got these out of order, but Infura has a functionality that allows us to store our metadata on chain the same way that you would do, directly on the IPFS desktop, or you could alternatively do with Pinata. This it works. You just pretty much add the CID, or I guess the URI into this path, and then it will produce your NFT collection based on the name, description, and image. I skipped this step and I went straight into deploy contract since I had my metadata already made up. And that is actually living in this contract right down here. We can look at that in a second, but just to briefly cover this. So in order to deploy the contract, there's a few more things that we have to do. That starts with adding this RPC URL because we need to know what chain that we're deploying to. And then we need to know that we can afford it. So we grab from the faucet, the Sepolia ETH, infura.io/faucet is typically up and running. So check that one out. I here add the chain ID for Sepolia. And then I create my deploy contract function, setting up my template. I chose 721 Mintable for this specific case. And I wanted to make a collection of airplanes with the symbol JET. So I went into my Pinata instance and I clicked my file that contains this metadata.json. So then I come in here and let's see if it'll let me do this, even though I already tested it. We'll give it a second to think. Okay, maybe not. Oh, wait, it works. Yay. Okay, so actually we can verify this on the chain. So let me pull up an instance of Sepolia Etherscan. All right. So here we can see this is my contract and this is the transaction hash from just 31 seconds ago from my address, and it was the type of contract creation. It cost me 0 ETH, but the token fee was about 0.0006 ish Sequoia ETH, so not too bad. Yeah, so that is a little proof in the pudding there. And then this one was just kind of a bonus point, get transfer by token ID. This is doing something similar to number 5 that we looked at, get transfer by block hash, but as the name indicates, we're just looking for the token ID. So works as intended. Yeah, so that is the bulk of the functionality and kind of a high level of how to get started with it. What are some things to take into consideration? I'd love to take some questions now, and I'll also be posting this code on GitHub, and I can, have it there. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. There's the first question is, does this support the ERC 1155?
Yes, it does.
It does. Cool.
Awesome.
And another audience asked, will be able to share the source code, and you just mentioned you're gonna upload it in the GitHub. So, can you share the link about the GitHub that you're gonna upload? Is it gonna be the Consensys GitHub or?
No, it won't be. I have made a second account as of recently, so it'll be on there. Let me pull up the link to that.
Yeah.
There's like an instance of this, or a work in progress version of this already living there, but you'll see the updated version shortly.
Got it. Yeah, you can send it in the private chat, and Tina, please help forward the link in the public chat room, please.
It just sent that over.
Okay. Yeah.
Were there any other questions that I could answer in the meantime?
I think that should be it for today. There's no more questions, and really appreciate Lauren for your time and efforts for this workshop. Definitely it's a little bit short, but definitely make a lot of sense and very clear about what did you present. So I believe there's already some interest gained, and hopefully they will all try the Infura API and SDK. I think that's it for today. Thank you very much, Lauren. Thank you for all the audience. Yeah, thank you for all the audience to engage this workshop. If you want to build something upon Polygon network, this can be a really good chance. It's going to be a virtual hackathon for Polygon APAC region, and please definitely seize that as a chance so you can get some support. That's it. Thank you guys again, and hope to see you guys very soon. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.